Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. Look who I'm with, Lawrence Okolie'S, and guess where we are? Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Beautiful layout here. You're staying with some friends, enjoying yourself?
Yeah, it's been a great trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of shopping today?
Yeah,
hard work pays off.
Kind of. Yeah, no, obviously, you know.
No, not kind of. Look, you're being modest, but at the end of the day, you've come far in a year.
No,
so
very true.
You need to feel proud of that.
No, I definitely do. Obviously, the stuff that I'm able to do now, I couldn't do before. Not only for myself, but for my family and friends. So definitely proud, definitely motivated. This trip, I needed it.
Yeah.
I think like, from when I turned pro, I was fighting like every 6 to 8 weeks. So it was fight, a couple of days rest, back into training. Then I had that fight against Journeyman, which was, I think, really high pressure. Outside of
early on in your careers too.
For sure. Outside of like the Olympics and stuff, it was definitely my highest pressure fight, where I knew the person I was boxing, there was rivalry, and dealing with the expectation of the fight fans, and like if I lost that fight, it's all over. Then to now boxing for the Commonwealth title, so I think I needed like a nice long break. So it's been like 2 weeks. Obviously the guys I'm with, you know, don't really have to worry about much. So I've been able to just enjoy myself and do some shopping.
I like how you're steady climbing in the division, and you're doing it right. You're not rushing anything. You're still giving yourself enough of a challenge, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're sort of getting by with these, what would you call them? Journeyman.
Yeah.
I want to talk a bit about less about boxing right now, but more about you, your growth, and how far you've come. I know that last time you and I spoke, you said, look, at one point I was working at McDonald's, and now look.
Yeah, trust.
And I know that I've been looking at your posts on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're having a bit of a reflective moment being here. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, definitely having a reflective moment. Obviously, as most people know, I used to work at McDonald's. As much as I had ambition, I never really thought there was a way I was going to be able to achieve much, if that makes sense. Obviously I found boxing, stopped getting bullied, all that kind of stuff, so that was good. But I think being out here has given me a chance to break away from the hectic sort of London living. So in London, all I'm doing is training every day, and then the days that I don't train, I'm getting stopped like a couple of times a day minimum by random people. So it's always on top of you, if that makes sense. And then as soon as you win one fight, there's another fight that comes up. Oh, box him next, he'll smash you. Oh, that was easy now. So, like, being able to get away from that. So I come out here, we're in Beverly Hills, LA, there's multi-millionaires, there's superstars. So, you know, you get to just chill in the background, just watch how everything goes. I mean, that's one good thing. Then also, opening my eyes to like there's more to life than obviously just the Hackney streets. Yeah, the Hackney streets. The sort of day-to-day stuff I have to deal with in where I'm from is a lot different to the rest of the world. So when you're in Hackney, obviously now it's not so bad, but there's, you know, gang stuff, trying to do certain stuff to impress people. Then you come out of that zone, you get on a plane, you see how small you are in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And see that there's obviously more to gain. So different motivations, different stuff. Yeah.
When you look back, because I mean I do this often, I look back and it's so humbling to think of this is just a small step in the right direction.
Yeah.
You still have so much. It's a journey. You still got so many more things to achieve before you actually want to be where you are. What do you see for yourself in the next few years? Like what's the ultimate goal to get you to that point?
It's a weird one, because stuff that I'm doing now, a couple of years ago, I'd be like, wow, spending that much on this, or, you know, headlining at O2 and Commonwealth champion. But I feel like now my ambitions are so much further that I've headlined at O2 and afterwards it didn't mean nothing to me. Do you know what I mean? I've won the Commonwealth title, it doesn't mean much to me. So I'm not saying it doesn't mean much, because I'm happy that I've managed to do those things. But ultimately, I feel like if I don't win a world title and potentially go on to unify, etc., I've let myself down. So I don't really care what expectations are put on me from the outside world, but in myself, I feel like Commonwealth, British, European are standards like I should win them anyway.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel more pride in a world title. So right now, when you see I win fights, like I might do a little light celebration. Maybe the Chamberlain fight was a little bit happy because it was a grudge match, but I'm comfortable with these wins. But I feel like for me, winning a world title, unifications, those are more the stuff that get me going. So definitely, it's not I expect those. It's if I don't get those, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
What are your pressures like? Because I feel like you're obviously beyond just someone who's just starting their career, and you're not quite where you want to be, but you're just quite in that middle.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of pressures that come with that because you don't want to go back to where you were.
For sure.
And you want to make sure that you do secure yourself, whether it be financially or just with fights in general. I mean, what kind of pressures are you?
I feel like I'm in a interesting position in the sense that obviously I'm quite early on in my professional career. I think it's been like 16, 17 months I've been pro. So, but the main thing is I like to push myself in terms of risks.
Yeah.
So I don't want to overdo it. I'm not going to start calling out Ozet next or Tony Bellew next or guys I have next, but it's on the radar. But I like to do tests beyond probably my experience levels. So headlining O2, that's a test against undefeated fighter. Boxing for the Commonwealth title, it's a test. It's a test I expect to pass.
Yeah.
By a test. So what that does is it puts me on like a bit of a position that I can't fight Journeyman, even though I'm in the early stage of my boxing career. And at the same time, I'm getting profile, I'm getting, like, obviously, Andy Joshua's my manager and their team, so I get looked after in that way. I'm with the biggest promoter, or I would argue the biggest promoter, and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, so I get looked after in that way. And I'm in a position where I could sort of get wrapped in cotton wool right now. Like, listen, you've taken some risks, you know, you've secured the Commonwealth title, you've done it. Take a step back, box some Journeyman, get some knockouts, create a buzz that way. So I could do that, take it, so I don't want to call it the easy route, but take that route of just being sort of wrapped in cotton wool. And like for people who don't know boxing, they'll just see my record. You know, 13 wins, 11 KOs, 14. But so that's a pressure because that's easy money, sort of, and easy profile to casuals. But at the same time, I'm in a position where I could push on and take more risks and risk anything happening. Do you know what I mean? I don't like anticipating losing, but putting myself in positions where I'm fighting people who are motivated, people who are training to beat me. Do you know what I mean?
Do you feel that it's a bit harder though when you have built a profile so early on in your career, because then there are those added pressures to be like, no, because you have a following, it's like, no, he should be doing more, he should be doing more, but not really. Like, it's okay to be at 20-0, 21-0, 22-0, and then taking on those challenges.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a pressure in itself. Like, people care who I'm fighting.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing and the pressure at the same time. So obviously I could have, it's hard to go on the radar when you've been an Olympian, but even still I could have been an Olympian and you'd be like, oh, I'm going to take the Chamberlain fight now, or let it build up, or the Commonwealth fight. But personally, why I feel like I managed to get to Olympics and why I'm doing this stuff now is because I don't really care about wins and losses. It sounds crazy, but for me, like, I kind of enjoy it. It's weird. I don't know how to explain, because I don't enjoy the thought of losing, but I enjoy winning a fight and being like, I beat that guy.
It was a challenge.
Yeah, do you get what I'm coming from?
A proper challenge. No,
so,
absolutely.
And also, I don't really care about what the average person says or someone on Twitter or whatever. It's about myself. So if I've got 20 wins and I haven't boxed anyone, I'll always know that within myself. So when it's time to take a step up fight, I'll know. I'll look at who I've boxed and what I've had to go through, and then I'll be like, oh, I've gone from this to boxing a world champion, but I haven't like built myself up. Does that make sense? So it makes that jump bigger. You can be on 20 fights and have fake confidence. Oh, beat this guy, that guy, but it's not real. So that's one thing, and also I feel like I'm in a position where the only way I'm going to get better is by putting myself in uncomfortable positions, because I'm naturally a good puncher, naturally tall, athletic, and I train hard, so I'm always going to be able to beat a certain level easily. So I have to put myself in uncomfortable positions to really become a better fighter.
So with that said, how far off do you think you are from fighting the likes of Usyk, Gassiev, and Bellew? I don't know if Bellew is going to be around by that point, because I know that he's maybe one fight off from retiring, but from that level.
I feel personally, depending on how this year goes, it could be next year, if not 100% the year after, but probably next year, or if not next year, the year after.
Early, middle, late? How soon do you think?
Definitely late next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Depends actually how this year goes. So what I anticipate, I'm not a manager and I'm not my trainer, but what I envision myself is I've handled Journeyman extremely well, so I couldn't box them anymore. I've handled domestic level easily, so Chamberlain, no disrespect to him, that was easy. The last fight I had was in its own way easy. So now it's like I have to push on to like the very top British level or European level, and if I can get through that and get through it well, then I can start looking at European and then maybe like fringe world title fighters, ex-world champions, and then we get into the likes of, because as I'm getting older, so I'm 25 now, still young in a sense, but I feel that when you're young and able, that's when you should be doing, so that's what I'm on.
If the World Boxing Super Series had a cruiserweight tournament again in a few years or whatnot, would that be something that you would be interested in?
100 million %.
Yeah.
Because I actually enjoy that style of boxing way more than the professional setup. So the style of like the Olympics, Europeans, is like you're all in there, and then you know, in training, whatever, I'm gonna box one of the top 8 fighters in the world. Then I win that.
The titles.
And then so the series, and you've seen from the cruiserweight series, these are the best cruiserweight fights I've ever seen. So I'm watching them and I'm like, wow. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's actually amazing. So to see the levels that they're all boxing at and competing at, it gives me something to aspire to. So when I look at the British scene, it's like they're okay. Like, everyone at our weight can punch, so there's always that little possibility. But outside of that, I don't think it's beautiful, like, to watch. So my own style, it's very unorthodox. It doesn't look like theirs, but I think it's effective. But I still enjoy watching theirs. So I would like to get in there and compete and dominate with my interesting style.
The finals coming up, who do you favor in that fight?
I'm gonna say right now, Usyk. But I'm hearing Gaziev's a lot taller than I thought he was, which kind of changes it. I thought he was like 6 foot, 6'1", because he's very, very stocky. So I thought he was short. But him being tall kind of changes it, because I expected Usyk to be able to in and out, pick shots, southpaw angles, because Gaziev seems like a tight guard, whipping hooks over. So I expect Usyk to be able to pick in and out, and that, so he shoots a shot, Gaziev tries to counter, he gets out of the way, counters again, and just does that round by round. And especially because he had such a good fight with Bradis, as long as that doesn't take anything out of him, he learnt to go to the well in that fight. So you see him really push himself. It was nip and tuck fight, so he'll be able to go there against Gaziev. But always, when you're fighting someone like Gaziev, who's a massive puncher, there's always that chance you have to stay switched on.
I was going to say, because should he fight the way he did against Bradis, against Gassiev, it's very dangerous.
Of course it is, but I think that Gaziev has a different style to Bradis. Bradis is good at like disguising shots, like throwaway shots. So he'll throw a couple of shots that don't mean nothing and then come in with big shots. So he's a very, very clever fighter, same as Usyk. So they were chess matching, but physical. With Gaziev might have little tricks, but they won't be fluid. They'll be like maybe fakes coming over with hooks, block counters. So it's a different style. So I don't think that it'll be a similar type of fight. But like I said, cruiserweights, one punch. So yeah.
Gassiev and Usyk both said that no matter whether win or lose, they both plan to move up to the heavyweight division. They both talk about wanting to face Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
How do you think they would do?
They'll both get knocked out.
Yeah.
Easily. It's such a big difference, and they should know because they're experienced fighters. Boxing elite cruiserweights and boxing elite heavyweights. So I've sparred a lot of heavyweights in my time, and I've done well with, you know, the majority of them. Not all of them. I've done well with all of them, but some heavyweights are very easy for cruiserweights because we're so much faster. and at the same time you've got strength. So I'm 6'5", whatever, strong, so I can dominate a heavyweight in sparring because I've got speed, range, all that stuff, and enough height and enough power. So same with Usyk and Gazaev. There's certain heavyweights that you can beat easily, but when you get to the top level, it's different because they're also intelligent boxers, but they're bigger and stronger. So as the rounds go on and you start getting tired, it's a lot more difficult. But you know, it's boxing, one punch and all that.
Lastly, I talked to Deontay Wilder today. Your best friend?
Yeah, my guy. And Marcellus.
I want to get your thoughts on that fight. It looks like we're inching closer, slowly but surely. Hopefully we do get that fight for October. We're hearing in Cardiff, possibly. How do you see that going?
I see Joshua winning, obviously. Not an easy fight, but then it could be an easy fight.
Distance, stoppage, how do you see it?
Definitely a stoppage. I don't think it'll be early because I think Deontay will get up from a knockdown. But how I actually see the fight going is Deontay. I don't know what he's, but he's going to have longer reach than Joshua, I believe. I don't really know the stats.
He has an inch on Joshua on height and his reach.
Oh, only an inch. Yeah, then it's Joshua's definitely going to stop him. Because I thought he was going to be sort of Fury-esque, where he can just like long arm. But if he's not that much taller, Joshua will be able to take the little steps moving his head, which he would have to work on, 100%. Close the range down with some jabs. Wilder likes to just tee and then throw like a big shot. But once he lands one shot, then one thing I have to say about Deontay, he's got amazing confidence, which I really like about him, is that as soon as he touches someone with a shot, whether they buckle or they don't buckle, he believes in himself. I hit so hard, they have to be hurt. So I like that about him. At the same time, when you're in exchange with Joshua's so much sharper inside the ring than it looks. Like, I've sparred him, don't want to say too much, but when I'm about to spar him, maybe I go in round 4 or whatever, thinking, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to step to this way, I'm going to do that. And then you start planning what you're going to do, and when you get into the ring, the stuff you thought you could do, you can't do. And that's reality of boxing. So it's going to be interesting, but he has someone like myself to spar. So if Joshua is smart and his team, they bring me in for sparring and they say do 2 rounds at a time, and I'll bring the Wilder side out of myself, throwing haymakers, throwing 2 rounds at a time. But yeah, I expect Joshua to win that fight, but I expect it to be an exciting fight. I'm going to be there panicking, obviously.
Like the rest of the world?
Yeah, trust, but it's going to be good. So I hope that fight can happen. I really hope it can happen, just because I've seen obviously Joshua like progress, and he's always never been afraid to take risks. He's a different type of confidence to Wilder. So Wilder's gained confidence from the knockouts and that kind of stuff. And I think he's really built on it, because I think he boxes quite scared, but now he's started to build a lot of confidence because he has got real power. But Joshua's always had that sort of inner self-belief, like, so going on to amateur days, Olympics, so on and so forth. And as a pro, he's never fazed by any fight he's having. He's always the same. So I think it'll be exactly the same with Wilder. I look forward to it. Yeah, me too. Well, it's great catching up with you. Thank you for letting me hang out with you for the last few hours. New sponsor? Yeah, Boohoo Man. If you want affordable, good-looking fashion, make sure you head online to Boohoo Man. It's lit. It's definitely lit. Everything I wear is plug that. Nice, yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, and I wish you nothing but the best in your career. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, Fight fans. Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else.